Alright, welcome back to Super Sentai episode 466. I only have time right now to watch 2 episodes. I was planning to do more, but I'm going out again soon to go out to eat for dinner. So here to discuss the episodes 7 and 8. 7 picks up exactly where the last episode left off, where Gozyuger shows up, and of course we do see the Tyranno Ranger. By the way, this is not Geki, the one who actually was the Tyranno Ranger from Gozyuger. Not him. He's not here. It is something completely different. It's one of the. It's basically the whole Universal Warriors conflict type of thing. That's basically it. Is someone uses a ring to basically transform into him. So defeats the giant form of Mr. Sharp Knife and Miss Sweet Candle, and that person leaves, and we briefly see this person for the first time, and then we have where Saru and Byakuya do their own separate storyline, where involves basically involved with being good with the ladies, and of course there's investigation into what happened with her sister, and also it's revealed that apparently he was an idol. But the thing is, he actually was pulled off the stage due to false allegations, which I'm like, wait, they just repeated the whole thing what happened with Don Momotaro, basically with him, where the Prime Minister was basically relieved due to false charges. Yep, and they basically, eventually they do win, and leads to the conflict later on in the episode. But in the case of our particular person here, he shows up later on at the Half Century Cafe, where he introduced himself as Megazaru Oski. I should point out, though, about this person. He is 36 years old. Basically, he's a bit younger than me. But you look at this person's face, it kind of looks like a face of an older woman. I don't know. Maybe it's due to some maybe he was a model before he was an actor. I'm not sure. But so apparently he's part of an agency known as Harapu. And looks like they mostly work with people who are part of, like, Kamen Rider and Ultraman. Now, of course, he is the China Ranger. Now, here's a little interesting related to this guy. Apparently, he actually watched Kiroja when it first aired back in 1992. Which means he was probably almost 4 years old. Apparently, he remembered. So, apparently, he had become the Tyranno Ranger. Of course, they kind of have them where, there was the previous Sentai, and we have the symbol, which is the hand thing. And the first team they show off is, like, as a V, and it looks like basically the original team from the 70s. But then he turns the page as the current team, and he refers to them as Gozyuger, which is the first time in show the team was ever referred to as this. And of course, they work together to make this particular rise, Super Sentai battle, and then later on, of course, he works with them to basically battle the grunts, which that was really cool. And then we see him actually how he summons Gozyuger, the resurrection, yes, of Gozyuger, brings him back, works with basically Gyro's Taiju's Sword Zord, and defeat the monster. Actually, the mech in the episode. Which I thought was so cool, the fact he did this. The fact we had a chance to see Gozyuger, and also see his tank form. Yes, the tank form. Here's a fun fact about this tank form. This is the first time this form has been seen of Gozyuger since Zyuranger ended back in 1993. So, first time in 32 years we've seen the tank. The mech itself has popped up several times since the show ended, but never with the tank form. Really cool. Everything's going on good, and then the episode ends and he's shot in the back. Oh, don't worry, he's not dead. However, the character's still very much alive, so over that. There has been a misunderstanding of the fact this character died after his debut appearance. Not really. If people continued on afterwards, we figure out, he actually is in fact alive, because I've heard he's credited for appearing in episode 10. I'll talk about that later on. So he's taken away by this mysterious person, and then we find out later on. We go to the number one Byron world, the number where it turns out he is Ring Hunter Gaburo. Yes, he is in fact a ring hunter, and apparently he's been hunting several other people, including, like, one of whom is somebody who apparently is, I kid you not. So apparently he's, like, not only he took the Zoo Ranger ring, obviously, he apparently defeated also someone who had the rings from Gozyuger, Geki Ranger, Jacka, basically Spader Ace. Yeah, well, he actually defeated this one. Yeah, he retrieved these things in just this episode alone. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Yep. And later on, we see this person pop up at the Half Century Cafe, everybody else doing deliveries. And it turns out this actually is Hano's long-lost brother. His real name, his birth name is Hatsuma Tano. Haru's older brother. Though he's going by Kon now. And apparently he's the president of his own company. You're like, what? Yeah, a company known as Kon Alec Hazard, and the whole thing with this place of granting wishes. And apparently this place was also used for Commodore W, or Double actually, for the Dago Corporation. Yeah, the same building, like, as their main headquarters. Which I found that to be interesting, yes. And it's all about gathering wishes. And then for some reason, not sure why, so, of course, basically, where Taru is offered a position as right-hand man, and he's like, oh, he has been meeting with this one person. And it turns out he's failed his quota the last 3 months, so he proceeds to punish him by putting an X on him. I don't know exactly what happened to him. I'm guessing he may have killed him, but they don't confirm that here. And he's been slowly manipulating our lead character to the point where he's attacking his own team. And of course, Flame Candle, his Zord has been fixed. So then they try to fight, and of course he's about to defeat him. He's like, wait, you're an empty puppet. You robbed me of my revenge. I'm leaving. Yeah, that's kind of basically his attitude, because he's like, I detect no flames from you. You are just a puppet. So, what does he do afterwards? Well, he proceeds to drop his ring and declare he'd quit Gozyuger, ending the episode. Really good two episodes here. And I love the fact that 6 led to 7 and 7 led to 8. Now, I should point out though, round one of the conflict wraps up in 2 episodes. It is now, the Ring Hunter himself is not the Sixth Ranger. Oh no, he is not. We won't see that character pop up until a little bit later. Excuse me. It's not the case Ninja Ranger, where they had the Sixth Ranger debut in the 7th episode. Yeah, they're going to wait a little while for it, but it is quite interesting, and plus also the fact that it was pointed out though by Bigama, who's the Yellow Ranger. Yeah, points out he's basically antisocial. He's very impolite. He's just a rude person. But that's a Red Ranger. At least he's not going over the top with stuff. I know that a couple YouTubers I've seen have not been big fans of Red Rangers, who tend to be very much like acting like hamming it up with their catchphrases. Here, the guy's not doing that. Not in the slightest, no. But here's my honest opinion about episode 7. I love the stuff with Osuka in that episode. I found that to be more interesting than the whole battle with the battle with the monster. That's just my opinion, anyways. I love the fact we explored the Sentai stuff, which I thought that was really cool. It's a shame that the character basically didn't last very long as Tyranno Ranger. We'll find out when we reach the next couple episodes. And where's Daiju, you might ask? Well, we'll find out about him soon. Don't worry about that. Also, great they brought back Daiju. And from what I read, he is not the only mech that can make a return. Who else? Gonna have to wait and see. But he is the first mech, not Tiger's Sword, to basically come back. Also, in case you're curious though about, oh, where's the main mech for this show, because they've only just had the Zords themselves pop up and not the main mech. It's kind of weird, the fact that they haven't combined yet to form their own mech. Yeah, I don't get the reason for this. I keep wondering though, like, does this show have an actual mech? That's honest to God a really good question, because it's just individual Zords. There's no regular mech. I'm getting to think, basically, when it comes to the mech of this series, that there is no combination mech for this one. It's just there's individual Zords. And the thing is, the series is almost 30 episodes and no combined mech. You just have these individual Zords, obviously, but they normally would have, you know, a combined mech. But for some reason, this is the first show since probably Jaka we don't have a combined mech. Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's no explained reason why it's like that. Yeah. But not much to say about the 2 episodes so far, but I'm like, can we have mech, please? But the story itself is interesting. Yes. So yeah, that's pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up we have is, well, more of this. Okay, next video. Bye.